All right, thank you so much for staying with us. We are still on our first segment on this morning on ITV, reaching you live from the Benin Network Center. Before we went on that short break, we are being joined by two other guests who are actually joining us to look at the front line of the discussion. We have Sim Stevenson. He is a Grammy Award winner, and of course, all the way from United States of America. Thank you so much for coming, Sim.
You're welcome. Good to be here.
Okay, and of course, we have Dr. Victory Emojikaro. Well, you popularly know him as Mr. Badmos, or the Otuetwe of Robo Kingdom. He's a film actor and, of course, a producer. Thank you so much for coming, Dr. Victory.
Thank you.
All right, now, we're still with you, Honorable Bailey. We're actually looking at the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and you told us that it's a good step in the right direction. But there have been a lot of backlash with some of the bills that have been signed, and some persons are feeling like it's not really too good. Looking at the student loan bill, for instance, there's already having a lot of backlash.
First of all, you look at the intentions behind the bill, and don't forget, Nigerians are just getting used to this type of policy. I know that growing up, there used to be, something like this, maybe in the late 70s or early 80s. But this new generation, they are just beginning to get used to this kind of bills. And I tell you, as somebody that lived, in the United States for a long time, close to 30 years, I can tell you it's a good step in the right direction. Just like every other thing, when it comes on board, we're going to have to, refine a lot of things, the details and all that. But again, all we have to beg of Nigerians is just patience. We need patience to understand, what the bill is all about, and fine-tune whatever needs to be fine-tuned. So, again, it's always normal when things come up like this. But trust me, the intentions behind the bill is what we should be concerned about, and it's a very good one.
Okay, Sim Stevenson, to an extent, the security architecture of the nation is in place now. With the shake-off in the service chief recently, security-wise, the nation is okay. Do you think it will attract foreign investors?
I believe that it should. When security is better, everybody feels a lot more comfortable to invest money into somewhere where security is good. So, yes, I think with the security that's better, that's tougher, then I believe that will definitely attract investors. And I'm willing to look for investors to do business here, because I believe, you and I have spoken briefly, but I believe that as the motherland, as we all call it, this place should be thriving. And once, as this young man said, he lived abroad for 30 years, he can see that there's a lot that could come back here that would do really well.
Okay, Dr. Victory, looking at this current administration, which aspect do you think they should start tackling? Well, the president he's already doing a lot, touching almost every aspect, but where should they concentrate on?
Well, for me, I believe that over the years, it has been nice. Now, for this current administration, I just believe that they have their own plans. Because definitely, if he doesn't have any plan, he cannot just come now with this subsidy removal. That is to tell you that they have plans already in place. So I know that things are beginning to change. But like he said, we need to be patient. I believe that a lot of things, let's say a lot of things have happened during the election. And I just believe also that people should try to be patient with this country, because a lot of things have gone so wrong. And for someone to come and fix these things, it's not going to be, it's too easy. And if we keep repeating ourselves by fighting at all times, it's not going to help this country. So now that it has happened, I know people will agitate, our mandate has been stolen, things are beginning to happen, we don't need to war. What we just need to do is to judge, not to war, so that at least the country can move forward. They can start from anywhere. They have their plans. That is what I believe. So the patience is what I just beg everyone to hold.
Okay, talking about patience, Honorable Billy, you are in the House. What kind of laws should we start seeing now? Because you have a role to play. And to an extent, some people have the opinion that this current House, they may end up being rubber stamp House too. It seems in a way, according to some analysts, that the president or the presidency have hands in their emergence. Do you think it's going to be a rubber stamp House?
No, I don't believe that. I think one thing I've found out about us as Nigerians, whenever we come up with something that's going to work, people will always look for a way to criticize it. Of course, I'm in the House. I'm there to do three things for my constituency and Nigeria, you know, at large. One is I'm going there to make laws, right? Two, I need to represent, you know, my constituents. And three, my oversight functions. And research has shown that any time the legislator does not have good relationship with the executive, even implementing the budget up to 30% will be a Herculean task. And our people sent us there to go carry out those functions and make sure at least we are able to implement more than 90% of the budget. That is what is attained in other climes. So why do we want to go there and start fighting right from day one? So we have looked for a way to build a better relationship with the executive, because it takes two to tango. This is government. So we have the judiciary, we have the legislature and the executive. So again, research has shown too, you know, taking a cue from the Ninth Assembly, you know, they built a better relationship with the government of our former President General Buhari, and they were able to implement more than 80% of the budget. So look at what Nigerians really want. So talking about rubber stamp, I see that as...
Won't they be doing the bidding of the presidency?
What do you mean by bidding of the presidency? These are not kids. These are lawmakers, people that went to their constituencies, you know, to run campaigns, promise their people what they want to deliver, people that have antecedents. You know, for example, myself, with my whole exposure, almost 30 years in a developed society, I will come here and be a rubber stamp. So to me, it's so ridiculous. We have just decided to look at what works and what doesn't work. So we are there to do what is going to work. And that was why when we were campaigning for who becomes the Speaker of the House, we had to put so many things on the table.
Okay.
We set up criteria to bring out the best. And the best was what we brought out.
What criteria did you have on ground?
Well, number one, how competent is this person going to be?
Okay.
And we looked at his antecedents. Look at our present speaker right now. A man that holds the best record. When you talk about bills that have been pushed, sponsored in the House, about 74 bills. And 21 of those bills are centered to by the president. He holds the best record in the House. Okay. When I say assented to, that means these are laws now in the Federal Republic. So what do you think about a man like that? A man that is very humble, that can put people together. Governance is not easy. When you have a speaker that leads 360, including himself, that is a Herculean task. You must look for a team player.
Okay.
You must look for a leader that's ready to listen, regardless of what part of the country you come from. A leader that will be tolerant, regardless or irrespective of your religion or even party affiliation. And our Speaker, Tajudeen Abbas, has all that, you know, and a man with the experience, requisite experience that was needed to do all these things. A man that will step out there, outside of this country, and will be respected. We put all those criteria on the floor, and we looked at everything, and this man stood out.
Could it be that you are talking as a party member now?
Oh no!
Are you speaking out of emotion?
No. You see, I just gave you his antecedents.
Okay.
The records are there. You can go check them out.
Okay.
The same way I checked them out.
Okay.
You know, this man, our speaker, this is his fourth time in the House.
Okay.
So his records are, very straight.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows exactly what he's doing. Just imagine how we took off right now. We must compliment what our president is doing right now. He's leading by example. The legislator cannot decide. We cannot afford to fail this country.
Honorable, I'll come back to you. Let's come to Sim. Sim, you flew in on Friday last week. You came in on Friday last week also, and you've been around for a while.
Yes.
This is your first time in the country?
Yes, it is.
All right, now, you've been there. That's your area. This is our own area now. For the few time that you have spent in Benin City, Nigeria as a whole, what are the things you think we can export from that place, import from that place, and introduce here? What are the things you think they are lacking here?
Well, one of the major things that I think we're lacking, network, a great network as far as our, internet, Wi-Fi. And I think for a country that is so rich, a continent, not a country, a continent that is so rich, but Nigeria as a country that is so rich with people, with resources, that I feel that what I've seen is that you don't have enough access to so many things that would make this a great country, a great place if the people had access to these things.
Okay.
I think better infrastructure. I see the roads, different means of travel, but those things are all necessary for a thriving community. You have so many people, you have so many opportunities that have not been realized because these things should be put in place. And if this House Speaker, if this administration is willing to work hard and put those things into place, then I agree that we should back the administration as opposed to fighting. Just like he said, there's always going to be opposition.
Okay.
There's always going to be opposition when anyone comes into power. It's always going to want to be not what he said, but what I want, what I've had before. But now that I see that he's doing something that makes sense, that's going to progress the country in a forward motion, then we should at least give it a chance and work together to see what happens. And then if it doesn't, yeah.
All right, Dr. Victory. The president is yet to release list of ministerial appointees. We're yet to see that to an extent. What kind of persons should form this list? Who are you looking out for? What should be their pedigree? Owing to the fact that in the past we used to have people who just come to feast on the ministry and just get away with it after 4 years. What kind of person should we look out for in the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration?
Well, like I said, to me as a person, I believe that Tinubu, our president, has been in politics for so many years. I believe as a leader, there are so many people that we condemn. But to me, it's just like this personality is also running for his own life, trying to see how he can make something out of his political life. He has been there as a governor of Lagos State, and I believe that his scorecard was not too bad. And Lagos today, we also give it to him that he has done so well.
Because you reside in Lagos?
Yes, because I reside in Lagos, and I believe Lagos people can testify to that when he was a governor of Lagos State. And they still believe that even the party that he belongs to, that have been ruling Lagos for some time now, most of the things that even the other governors are doing are the blueprint of what he has set in place before leaving office.
So what kind of person should we look out for?
So I am saying that credible people, that is the people that he knows, I believe he's going to fix the country in a way that he have it already. To me, he have it already that, okay, this person has the pedigree for fixing this area. He's going to put people in positions that would benefit everybody. That is my take. because I know that he's a man that his hands are in a lot of things. So he knows the politics. He has been in the game for so many years. So he knows what to do. Like he said, sometimes most people are going to kick against him. But let us just give him a chance.
Okay.
And so that he can fix these things, put credible people in position, then at the end of it, every one of us will benefit from it.
It's obvious, Dr. Victory, you're campaigning for us to give the president a chance. It's okay. Let's come to Honorable Billy. Honorable Billy, recently we're hearing that they want to increase the pay for political office holders with about 114%. And an average Nigeria is battling with survival with the minimum wage. How do we strike a balance, Honorable? Considering the fact that things are high?
First of all, I would like to let you understand that because our minimum wage is not what it's supposed to be, that does not mean that issue should not be addressed.
Really?
Okay. And some of the people that will be addressing those issues are the people you are talking about. I strongly believe that if you want to erase corruption from our system, our people must be paid very well.
You just started work.
Now,
You
I'm
just
not
started
talking
work.
about myself.
Indeed.
I'm even talking about Nigerians.
Okay.
Our minimum wage is nothing to write home about.
Okay.
So because they are starting from somewhere does not mean that's not going to expand, to the average Nigerian. I mean, the truth is, if you want the best result, you have to pay for it. Now, people talk about increasing, the wages. Maybe you want to take one to 114%. What about if we turn around and say, let's increase the minimum wage by 200%? I strongly believe in that. Nigeria's problem at this stage is not that we are being wasteful with our money. We are not earning enough. We are not generating enough. And we can generate more. But before you generate, you have to take care of the people that will help you generate that money.
Okay. So we are saying we should suspend the 114% increase for public office holders.
Well, I've not said that. All I've said is, if it's a good thing that will motivate them to do the right thing for Nigeria and Nigerians, why not? Nigerians themselves should be considered. They should be considered. What about the minimum wage? Let's come back to the table.
Okay.
Because 30,000 is nothing. When I say 30,000, I'm not talking about $30,000. I'm talking about 30,000 naira.
That cannot get you a bag of rice.
That can't get you nothing. So I every time I imagine how our people survive on this kind of salary.
So should we suspend the 114% increase?
Well, like I said, everything that is coming up as a policy, look at the intention behind it. Okay? If it's a good intention, for example, you want a policeman to do his duty, but you don't want him to be corrupt.
No. Okay.
Yet, the policeman is not being taken care of.
Okay.
The remuneration is nothing to write home about. Again, you said political officer. No, I want to correct you. Public servants.
Public servants.
Okay. So you have to define it very well.
Okay.
So,
Sim, he still have the floor. I'll come to you, Sim. Let him quickly wrap up.
Yes. So what I'm saying here is, whenever we come up with anything that we think will help our people do the right thing, let's encourage it. Okay. All we need to preach is, can we extend this to the average Nigerian?
Okay.
Instead of always trying to pull something down that we know that if we don't do this thing, it will encourage corruption.
Okay.
So it's a good way to start.
Okay,
But again, we shouldn't leave it
Honorable
there.
Sawara, I'll come
We
to
should
you.
extend it to the average
I'll
Nigerian.
come to you. Okay, Sim, let's quickly take your reaction.
So I know you saw me. I had a question for him. That's why I was
No,
raising my hand.
you're not, that's his opinion.
I know, no.
Except if you're giving us your own reaction.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's entitled to his opinion.
Yes, and no, and I like his opinion. I was just saying, I think if we're going to raise that 114%, for those in higher office, can it be across the board? Can we raise then minimum wage at the same time that we're raising that 114% for those that are in office?
Okay.
Yeah.
That is my suggestion.
That's
Okay.
your suggestion.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay.
My own suggestion is that it's going to be a kind of a satanic for some people to be going home with some kind of money. And the lesser people there, they have nothing to write home about according to their pay.
Okay.
So if you are talking about them maybe paid a kind of salary that is
Though TUC and NLC, they are proposing a pay rise for civil servants.
good.
Negotiations are on.
Yes, but you see, we must think right from the top to the bottom. We must try to know that we have to fix a lot of things. Like I said, the policeman needs a lot of things. Even the average person selling in the market need also to be fixed so that everything can be in equal, in a balanced level. We cannot sit down and maybe be hearing that some people are getting some millions and you are paying some people salary for 30,000 and all of us are going to the market. It's satanic. So let us see how we can fix these things. It's very important. If not, you will see crime. You will see crime, like even if the police officers that you want to fight this security purpose, that you see that you put them in place, and they are not receiving something better, it's open for them to be corrupt.
Yes.
So fix these things in a way that it will not affect the common man. Because all of us, we have to also go to the market to purchase one thing or the other. You cannot just sit up there, you are enjoying everything. Some of them, fuel they don't buy. The government buy fuel for them. They fix a lot of the things for them. But here you are, you struggle to get that little pay. You take transport. All these things need to be fixed so that I will not be eyeing your own wet tomorrow. Because in a situation where all these things are not fixed, there is so much envy and jealousy in the heart of man.
Right. Okay.
Then at the end of it all, it becomes a kind of a wicked thing because even the man that is prone to crime will want to destroy you because he feels that you are oppressing him. No matter how you try.
Let's quickly come to Honorable
To hide.
Billy. Honorable Billy, rebuilding the nation, the youths must be taken into cognizance.
Yes.
Now, as a man that has lived with the youths, empowered so many youths in our society, what are the plans you have now that you have a bigger platform?
Well, first of all, I think I'm going to consolidate on what I've been doing before, like working, collaborating closely with National Directorate of Employment and actually help our people in the area of skill acquisition. I've been doing that for years. I think it's a good thing because what I've found out, a lot of our kids, they graduate from universities, no jobs. They really don't have skills for some other things. They just can't sit down and think about something they can use to make money. So, but with skill acquisition, a lot of them can actually secure soft loans, and they're able to start one business or the other. Skill acquisition, just like fixing a computer, can actually give you something that you use to take care of your household. For example, of course, in the developed society like the United States, I can tell you that a lot of people, they live on certification jobs. That is why when you find Nigerians come to the United States, the first 2-3 months, they go take a certification course. And they use that to feed their families for the next 8, 9, 10 years. Yes. Before they decide to go back to school, maybe go back for their master's or their bachelor's or even PhD as the case may be. But here in Nigeria, we always believe, you have to be a college graduate. Even when you are a college graduate, you still don't have the job. So again, skill acquisition is very, very important. That is something we will continue to encourage. And again, mentorship. I believe in apprenticeship. I'm not Igbo by tribe, but I respect the Igbos for that. When you pick somebody from the society, mentor that person, whatever you are doing, if that person shows any interest, take that person, for the next 2-3 years.
Transfer the knowledge. And
yes, if you are a car pass seller, bring that person to work with you. Then after 3-4 years, settle that person. And let him start his own life. Again, we are not doing enough of that. So we want to encourage. So that's why I said in developed societies, what really drives the economy? Small and medium scale businesses. We are not paying enough attention to those. So those are some of the bills I'll be moving. I know we have some already on the books. We need to revise them.
Okay.
You know, and begin to put emphasis more on certification programs.
Okay.
Again, we are carried away with this our BSc, MSc that cannot give you job, no skills, nothing else. So if we focus on those certification programs and they are properly structured, trust me, before you know it, we're going to have a lot of not just people that can give employment to themselves, they even give employment to others.
Okay,
Very
quickly,
well
Sam
said.
Stevenson, you are a musical artist and of course an award, a Grammy Award winner. You've been in the country for a while now. Looking at the youth you've worked with in the project you're doing currently, how do you think the government can help these talented youths to get out of the level they are now and move to the next level?
Well, what is awesome is what Honorable Billy just said. It is mentorship, number one, and creating programs that are focused on what they do. It's the same way I feel about programs in the States. Even college in the States, I have my own children. I tell them, more than anything, learn a skill. And I've worked with many Nigerians in the States doing healthcare stuff. I do healthcare things as well.
Okay.
And a lot of the Nigerians that I meet that do healthcare, when they come to the country, they learn and get their certification in healthcare, and they make more money actually than the average Americans that have degrees and stuff because of those certifications, those skills. And if we look at the future of the world, not just Nigeria or the United States, the way that we're moving toward AI, that is going to school now. What are you really going to use those?
We're moving into the world.
Yes,
of
it's going to be
artificial
obsolete. So I tell children, I tell young people that I mentor to learn skills like repairing AI, learn how to code, learn how to build and invest in creating AI. You know, because I see a lot of kids play games all the time. I said, create your own. Come up with ideas for your own. That way, that keeps you relevant for the future, as opposed to saying, I have a master's degree. But just like he said, even in the States, it's the same way. People with master's degrees can't get jobs because they have no skills, and what they're doing, what you're going to
relevant.
Yes, what you're going to school for is now becoming irrelevant. So you come out and you have these degrees, but it's to be put to use for what?
Okay, Dr. Victory, let's just take your take as the final wrap. If he's saying we should move from the conventional schooling to AI and other stuff, are we not saying school is not important?
We will not say that school is not important. Like he said, we have to actually empower people. Like Honorable said, because there is no way that you can actually do without that. Now, let's take, for instance, like Sim actually said, you know, with the project that we have at hand, I just have to give it to my director, Dr. Emeka Obidi, Henry, because if you see the youth that we are using, it's empowering them to do a lot of things. For this movie that we are doing now, we are moving people from the street to have something gainfully involved in this, engaging them in this. And he just cited a school here in Benin, where he's teaching a lot of them how to act, how to direct, how to communicate. This school of NEGV Art of Communication is something that's going to put a lot of people, a lot of these youths from the street. Now, I was even impressed. The script that is written was done by his own students.
Wow.
The research alone, when I asked that girl about it, a very small girl, I said, have you done this before? He said, no. So these are the things that we're talking about. We should empower the youth.
Okay.
Whatever knowledge that you have, it's not just making the money. What if you look back tomorrow and say that, oh, these are people that have touched their lives? Yes. That is the joy of life.
Yes. Okay.
It is not just maybe embezzling money, diving into corruption and doing things that you feel you are too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Victor, and of course, Sim Stevenson and Honorable here for taking time to come. We'd like to work with you again And even though you get to Abuja, we'll still be communicating. We'll be having you via our network studios.
Always welcome.
Yes.
All right, thanks so much. We'll be taking a short break now. Our next set of guests are already seated. They'll be joining us in a jiffy. Don't go nowhere.